the Biometric Refugee, when your body gets you banned. Biometric Bondage Series, where we learn how anatomy is being linked to authentication in the AI era. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11-time published author, and in this video, we're diving into a rapidly growing but barely acknowledged crisis, the biometric refugee. This isn't about crossing borders in the traditional sense. It's about being digitally denied access to society because your body doesn't match what the system thinks it should. And once that mismatch happens, the fallout can be catastrophic. Locked out of travel, healthcare, public services, or even basic banking. Welcome to the world where your face, your fingerprint, or your retina could become your greatest liability. Let's start with one of the most shocking facts that rarely makes headlines. Biometric misidentification is not rare. In 2019, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, released a study showing that some facial recognition algorithms had error rates of up to 100 times higher for people of color, especially Black women and East Asian individuals. Translation? The system doesn't see everyone equally. And when your identity is locked to your face, that bias isn't just offensive, it's operational. Take the case of a Detroit man, Robert Williams. In 2020, he was wrongfully arrested and jailed because a facial recognition system falsely matched his face with that of a shoplifter. He had never been to the store. The algorithm got it wrong, and police acted on that data as if it were irrefutable. He lost hours of freedom, dignity, and legal standing because the machine said so. And this is just the beginning. Across major airports in the US, facial recognition is being used to board flights. Delta, United, and JetBlue now offer face-first boarding lanes, advertised as fast and convenient. But passengers are often unaware that their image is being permanently stored and potentially shared with government databases. Worse, if the system fails to recognize you or misidentifies you as a flagged individual, you may be detained, delayed, or denied boarding without recourse. This is the new reality of biometric failure. You don't need to have done anything wrong. You just need your body to be slightly off. Too old, too dark, too sick, too scarred, too tired, or too uniquely human for the algorithm to glitch. And when it does, the consequences are real. This isn't about losing access to your phone. It's about losing access to your life. Now let's talk about healthcare. In India, the Aadhaar system is the largest biometric ID program in the world. Over 1 billion people are enrolled. And while it's often praised for streamlining welfare services, it has also created a brutal system of exclusion. If your fingerprint or iris scan doesn't match the national database, maybe due to age, disability, injury, or system error, you can be denied food rations, pensions, or medical care. There are documented cases of people dying because they couldn't authenticate themselves at clinics or pharmacies. Their crime? Having worn down fingerprints from manual labor. This is what it means to become a biometric refugee, not because you left your country, but because your body no longer grants you access to essential systems. You're digitally invisible, biologically denied. You become a citizen with no usable passport. Not because the government stripped it from you, but because the algorithm won't recognize you anymore. Let's go deeper into why this happens. Biometric systems rely on static templates, snapshots of your biology taken at a certain moment in time. A fingerprint, an iris scan, a facial image. But your body is not static. Your face changes with age, weight, illness, or lighting. Your fingerprints can be worn down by work or injury. Your gait, used in some advanced surveillance systems, can be thrown off by a limp, a cast, or a pregnancy. In other words, the biometric identity is not truly you. It's a digital assumption of what you should look like, walk like, sound like. And if you fall outside that template, the system sees you as an anomaly or a threat. This matters not just for individuals, but for entire populations. Consider transgender individuals undergoing hormonal therapy or surgical transitions. Their face structure can change, their voice can shift, their iris may remain constant, but the system may still fail to authenticate them, especially if it cross-checks older images. Facial recognition has already misgendered people or rejected them entirely due to inconsistencies in expression, hair, or voice frequency. That means certain identities are being algorithmically erased or refused, not out of malice, but out of code. Then, there's the case of children and the elderly. Many biometric systems struggle to accurately read the faces of very young children, whose bone structures are still developing. Similarly, aging adults often experience biometric drift, wrinkles, sagging, or changes in skin pigmentation, which causes false negatives. Imagine being denied your retirement benefits because the system no longer recognizes your aging face. That's not a glitch. That's a systemic design failure. Even temporary factors can cause exclusion. Think of someone recovering from facial burns or undergoing chemotherapy. Their appearance shifts. Their biometric key changes. And in the eyes of a rigid system, that change can be grounds for rejection. The same goes for people with tremors, neurological conditions, or limb loss. Those whose behavioral biometrics, like typing speed or walking pattern, no longer match their stored profiles. Let's not forget travel. Across Europe, smart border systems are integrating facial recognition and fingerprint scans into customs control. The EU's Entry-Exit System, EES, aims to fully replace passport stamps with biometric logs. While it promises efficiency, it also means that an algorithm now decides if you can enter or leave a country. There have been reports of travelers being delayed, denied, or interrogated based solely on biometric mismatches. And in some cases, travelers have no idea why they've been flagged. No human appeal. Just a computer error with life-altering consequences. Now let's talk about the compounding factor of data centralization. Biometric databases are increasingly being linked: healthcare, immigration, banking, education. That means if you're misidentified in one system, that error can cascade across others. Get flagged at a border, and you might lose access to your bank account. Get rejected by a medical scan, and you might be denied welfare payments. In this world, there's no safe compartment. One glitch poisons the entire ecosystem. And what recourse do you have? Almost none. Biometric systems don't come with help desks. There is no hotline to call when your face fails. There's no appeals board when your fingerprint is not recognized. In most cases, people are told to re-enroll, submit new scans, update their templates. But even that process requires access. You need to prove your identity to update your identity. It's a circular trap, especially for those already locked out. There's another layer to this crisis: algorithmic discrimination. Some systems use predictive models to assign risk scores based on your biometric profile. These can include things like emotional state detection, microexpression tracking, or stress markers. In China, for example, voice print and gait analysis are reportedly used to flag abnormal behavior for early intervention. The West is not far behind. Companies in the US and UK are already experimenting with AI systems to detect threatening behavior in public spaces based on how you walk, stand, or move your eyes. That's not just surveillance, that's preemptive judgment. And if your natural movements fall outside the norm, the system could label you suspicious without you ever knowing. This isn't a hypothetical future, it's happening now. And those most affected are often the least powerful: immigrants, the elderly, the disabled, and the poor. The people least able to challenge the system are the first to be failed by it. So what's the takeaway? Biometric systems are not neutral. They're built by humans, trained on biased data, and enforced by automated processes that rarely accommodate exceptions. And yet, we're handing them more and more control over travel, finance, health, and freedom. The idea that your body is your key sounds empowering. But in reality, it means your access to the world depends on a machine recognizing your flesh. And when it doesn't, you become a biometric refugee. Not because you broke the law, not because you changed your name, but because the system cannot or will not see you for who you are. Hi, I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and SOS, School of Soul has a brand new series, the AI and Future Technology series. Look, you know the world is changing, and no, it's not going back to normal. Normal is over, and what's coming next is beyond anything we were prepared for. The School of Soul, AI and Future Technology series includes 319 videos on 1. The Download Society, How Data Has Replaced Destiny. 2. Predictive Future. Your next moves aren't random, they're forecasted. 3. Social Credit Systems. The behavioral economy now governs access. 4. Hive Mind. Synthetic telepathy and collective algorithmic control. 5. Nanobots inside you. Medical, military, and programmable intrusions. 6. Grief Tech. AI-fueled digital resurrection and simulated comfort. 7. Uploading your mind, consciousness transfer, and data-based identity. 8. Deep fakes plus AI clones, the replication of reality and identity theft. 9. Quantum humans, the merger of biology with quantum systems. 10. Digital afterlife, where your data goes when you die. 11. Resurrection science, reviving life through synthetic methods. 12. Immortal science, the end of death as we know it. 13. Longevity science, gene editing, anti-aging, and bio-upgrades. 14. Designer babies, engineered perfection before birth. 15. Artificial wombs, birth decoupled from the female body. 16. 3D printing, printing organs, limbs, and even humans. 17. The humanoid era, the rise of synthetic beings among us. 18. Legacy humans, the slow phase-out of unmodified analog people. 19. Smart cities, algorithmic environments that watch and decide. 20. Cloud-based societies, citizenship without borders or bodies. 21. Hackable humans, emotion, memory, and behavior under code. 22. Biometric scanning, your body is your password and your prison. 23. Sex tech, intimacy reprogrammed by machines. 24. Extinction of gender, fluidity, deletion, and design of identity. Every topic is fully explored with real-world technologies, patents, case studies, ethical analysis, and future forecasts. These aren't someday discussions. This is already happening. Join the SOS School of Soul Vault to overstand the future before it's implemented on you.